Hello Silver friends, this is Joli from QuickSilverHair. Have you ever noticed that your favorite hair care lineup suddenly stops working? Maybe you've been using them for weeks, months, or years with absolutely no issues, and then one day, like nothing, all of a sudden, they just stopped working. In this video, I'm going to discuss 8 reasons why this happens and some solutions to help you fix the problem. The first reason this can happen is your product lineup. When a chemist builds a product lineup in a singular product line, they build that product lineup so that the shampoo works with the conditioner and the conditioner works with the leave-in and the leave-in works with the styling products, and back again to where the shampoo, when you go back to shampoo your hair, cleanses away all of the products that you've put in it from that lineup. The problem is we don't always use the same products from one line. And another problem is that depending on the ingredients in the formulas, they can build up on themselves. So things like proteins, butters, oils, silicones can start to cause a buildup and a film on your hair that changes your results. Number 2 is the age of your products. On the back of your products is a small jar. I'm going to show you here. You can see this little jar and it has a number in it. That number dictates how many months that product is good from open date. So usually that number is anywhere from 6 months, 8 months, 12 months, or 24 months. When you open products and you leave them open for a very long time, over time the product starts to deteriorate. The preservatives lose their efficacy, the stabilizing ingredients start to destabilize, and the product starts to fall apart. This might not be a visual thing. It may not be something when you open the bottle and look at it that you can actually tell is happening. But the formulation itself may be changing in its pH and so forth. And that can change the outcome of your wash days because the product itself is no longer viable or stable. This can happen and often does happen with our favorite products because we tend to buy larger bottles. So if you buy liter-sized bottles and you cannot get through them in 12 months or 24 months or whatever the number is on the back of that container, I would advise either buying smaller containers just so you don't have to throw that product away, or making sure you mark the container with the month that you opened it so that you know how long it's been and how long it's taken you to use up that product. The longer you go from that mark on the back of the container, whether it's, if it's at 12 months and you go to 13 months or 14 months or 15 months, the longer you go out, the more destabilized the product becomes. So number 3 is formula changes. I found out very quickly during 2020 how important it is and how much of a difference it can make on being able to get your ingredients. So every company that makes products has to source their ingredients. Sometimes sources disappear, sometimes there's a war and that war is affecting an ingredient that comes from that country and they can no longer export it. Sometimes it is cost or availability. There are so many factors that go into each individual ingredient that goes into a formula. Now, when chemists have to make changes, usually that's a negligible change and it won't be that noticeable to you in your hair care, but sometimes it's an ingredient that makes a huge difference. There's also the difference from batch to batch. So just mixing the product from one batch to the next can create differences in the product. I know this from my own products. I can tell you that the scent changes, sometimes the texture changes based on how finely the clay is ground. There's all sorts of variables that can change a formula that have nothing to do with the chemist actually changing the formula. But that can be one of the issues that can suddenly cause your favorite products to stop working. Number 4 is seasonal changes. So everything in the weather and the environment can change how your products are responding. Humidity, heat, cold, dryness, wind, whether you are spending more time indoors or outdoors can all change how your products are responding. For example, these Pacifica products that I bought in the spring and fell in love with, and these bottles are almost empty, I used throughout the spring and throughout the dry months of the summer, but as soon as the monsoon season hit and all of the humidity kind of hit Albuquerque, I realized those products were not going to work for me. They just don't hold up in rapidly changing humidity, which is what happens with monsoons. The humidity can change within hours. So I had to put them aside and not use them for that season. That is a very good example of what can happen. You can suddenly have a product that just stops working because the weather has changed. Number 5 is changes in your water. The first change, of course, could be if you have a whole house filter or a shower filter, that the filter needs to be replaced. Seasonal changes in your water can occur. For instance, in the spring, if you have river water is your town's source of water, the rivers can turn over due to snowmelt, which can change the mineral content in the water. Your local water authority can also change the level of chemicals that they're putting in the water at will. And that means that there could be more chlorine or other treatment chemicals in the water that could be affecting your water. So it could be your water that has changed the efficacy of your favorite hair care products. Number 6 is health changes. The first thing that I see that can really affect the hair the most, for women especially, is hormone changes. So this can be your thyroid, it can be pregnancy, it can be perimenopause, menopause, and all of this can change the way your hair is responding because your hair is changing. Also, illness, surgery, and stress can change your hair and can change how it responds to products. So I would take a look at your current life situation. Has anything changed in regard to your physiology? And that could be a good clue as to what is going on. Number 7 is hairstyle changes. We don't often think about this, but if we have changed from curly to straightening, from straightening to curly styles, or maybe we've changed our hair dryer or our flat iron or some hot tool, or we've gotten a haircut, this can change the way the products respond. You may need to use entirely different products if you want to straighten your hair versus wear it curly. And you may need different products to protect your hair from your heat tools. This can change your favorite lineup if one of those variables changes. Number 8 is often the reason and the solution, and that is simply that you need to clarify your hair. It can be all of these previous environmental issues that I've discussed, and it can be product buildup, and it can just be that you need to hit reset on your hair. I like to clarify with my QuickSilverHair clay, and I'll use a sulfate-based shampoo like this one from The Ordinary that also has chelating ingredients in it. And I just take that shampoo and do my clay mask and I hit reset on my hair. It's really amazing how clarifying can solve most of the issues that we've just discussed. Another solution, which is the one I use the most, is switching up my products using the 80-20 rule. So 80% of the time I use Scene's shampoo and deeper conditioner as my normal shampoo and conditioner. And 20% of the time, I will switch it up. I will use something else. Often this is me testing other products for the channel or doing reviews. And that's how I kind of make this problem go away, because 20% of the time I'm using something different, and I notice that the effectiveness of the Scene products increases when I switch it out a little bit. If I keep using Scene over and over and over and over again, or any product for that matter, I will notice that my hair starts to get weighed down or it starts to get frizzy. A lot of people don't think about this, but buildup can cause frizz. So using the 80-20 rule, 80% of the time I use Scene and my favorite leave-in conditioner, which is from Bounce Curl, and my favorite gel, which is Loma's Firm Hold Gel. And 20% of the time, I switch it up. And I love finding products that can fill the 20% block so that I don't have too many products in my lineup. Just like our food diet, our hair diet needs to change occasionally. Sometimes we need different nutrition, sometimes we need different moisture levels, sometimes we just need a good cleansing. Okay, so that's it for this video. I hope you found this helpful, and as always, in the description box below will be everything that I have mentioned in this video, including products. Sign up for my email list while you're down there. There is a link there that you can follow to get on my email list. That's the best way to find out about my new content. I email weekly. If you have questions or comments, please leave those in the comment section below. That is one of my favorite parts of releasing a video, is talking to you about the topics that I discuss in the videos. And while you're down there, if you liked this video and you found it helpful, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because I would love to see you next time. Until then, shine on.